Welcome to Monday, the last day of June. We're, what is that? Okay, we have 365 days, so this is like day 182, half of that. Is that where we are?
Well, I'll tell you exactly where we are.
Okay, tell me.
June 30th.
I love that. Okay, we got to give the word for the week, and this is going to be a great week with July the 4th. To honor, and this is our birthday coming up. Birthday for the country. How many?
All right, it is the 181st day.
81st day. I was off one. Okay,
yes, okay.
182 is tomorrow. Yeah. What's the number of our birthdays?
What do you mean?
The United States.
Oh, well, we're not 250 yet.
No, 249.
Yes.
249. That's right. Next year will be the big one.
Yes, you just almost got me, but
but you're pretty sharp.
Yeah. Okay.
So see if you can help me with this word for the week. It is interest. interest.
Is that what I hope that my savings account?
That's right. I knew that's where you would go with this.
You think so?
Interest you pay on a loan or a note at the bank, or like you said, you earn interest on your CDs or your savings account.
Yes.
Interest. Or you might have an interest in a business. Maybe you're 50% owner, 50% interest. But of course you know that's not where we're going, right?
Yes. Yes, okay.
Okay, so we are going to interest as a noun, and it means a state of wanting to know or to learn about something or someone. An interest. I have an interest in learning to be a horticulturist. No, that's not true. I don't have that interest, but that's an example of an excellent sentence.
And is that where the word Pinterest come from?
Pinterest. Explain.
Well, there's a site you can go. It's called Pinterest. And
what do you do when you get there?
It's whatever you want to do. It's got all kinds of things for you to. It's mostly crafts and things like that.
But things that you're interested in.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it could be that. So when it's used as a verb, it is to arouse your curiosity or your concern. Mm. All right? Now, where this is all coming from and where it has led me to do some deep thinking about this is in my effective communication workshop. And we're asking the questions of, can we create a conversation around the major matters in life, the really deep, meaningful things, and I announce them as we should discuss God, sex, money, religion, relationships, and of course the dreaded politics. And last couple of weeks, I've had a number of people that I've asked that of, I don't want to talk about that. Those are unmentionables. We don't want to talk. Well, why would you not be interested in sharing? And they say, yeah, I'm not interested. I am not interested, so I don't want to talk about those things. And I'm wondering, why? Why can't we continue to have a conversation even though we disagree, and we might even agree to disagree, but I believe we should continue to be interested and we should begin to keep on talking.
Well, it could be you don't want to get into an argument.
Okay, that's good. That's excellent. That's one of the things.
That's probably the primary. Okay. I would suggest that you don't want to get into, you're having a nice evening or you're visiting with folks and this comes up and you want to sidestep it so you don't ruin a perfectly good evening or.
But don't you think that's like jumping to conclusions?
Not if you know the party in which you're a part of.
Okay, all right.
Maybe you know where they're going to go. You know that you're not going to. I think most people know that they're not going to convince somebody if they've already had this discussion once before.
Okay, so they do have a bias to what they think is going to happen anyway, and I think that's the world that we live in, because we have created some environments that do not promote curiosity or connection. Some of the environments, some of the cultures.
Yes, but there are folks that do not want a different opinion. Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, that to me, that's bothersome. I am interested, and I have curiosity. I want to know about both sides. In fact, Zig Ziglar said that. He says, I do my devotionals, but I look at the newspaper, to find out the other side.
Well, that's the whole point. If I come across someone who disagrees or I know is going to disagree with a particular subject, I'll let him try to convince me otherwise, and I'll keep my mouth shut.
Okay, so you're able to do that?
Most of the time, yes.
Okay, good.
I mean, it just depends on the subject matter.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll listen to see if whatever they're telling me will convince me to change my mind.
So what is
or
a
have
topic,
a different opinion.
Right, but what is a topic that you really feel that you wouldn't go to or don't want to go to?
Religion, probably.
Religion?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think religion and politics are probably
those
the two
two
things.
probably.
Yeah.
And more so, I think probably politics than religion, because religion is so broad.
Right.
Politics is pretty narrow to. You're not going to discuss politics in Africa or whatever. Maybe they don't know those sort of things.
Right.
But politics, most people know their particular area or their state or their country.
And most people, the leaning that they have in politics is probably something they've had for a long time, maybe their grandfather, their parents.
Exactly. And so I'm of the opinion, if my parents were, for sake of discussion, independents, maybe I've formed other conclusions where I may be a Democrat or a Republican, and so be it. That's what they believe, that's not what I believe.
Right. Okay. All right. So we're running out of time here, but one of the things I want to quickly, so why should we have, what kind of conclusion do we come up with if we are really interested in other matters like we were just talking about? What would our environment look like? One of the things that I think that if, this is my belief about having an effective conversation and have that conversation going on continually, and it's intentional that even though we disagree, we can still have a conversation. All right. So I believe that when we have interest in other matters, we build relationships which are based on truth, trust, and empathy. So we build those things if we continue to show interest. And so if we keep on having conversations, we encourage understanding across all these differences. So with those two things in mind, why not take the risk to have the conversation? And you brought up an excellent point, is that if you know the other party, you really feel like it's of no use, no matter what you say, and the only thing it's going to do is create a problem.
Yeah, they're not open to somebody else's opinion, and you can pretty much decipher that right off the bat in a lot of cases.
But see, when you do that, I believe you create isolation. you're staying away. Everybody has to guard what they say, so you'll never get that open mind.
Well, on that particular subject, perhaps.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily. Suppose you like somebody. I have lots of friends who I disagree with politically wise, but I like them. They're good friends, and so we just don't talk about it because I don't want to get into an argument with them. They haven't convinced me otherwise.
And you haven't convinced them either.
No. Sometimes my time is valuable, so is theirs.
Right.
So, okay.
But let me ask you one last question, and this might be rhetorical, meaning you don't necessarily have to answer it. But for people that do not agree with you, why do you associate with them?
Well, they have other virtues that, I kind of like,
Okay.
And so just because we don't agree on a particular subject doesn't mean they're taboo.
Throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And the hopes of maybe you could convince them by your actions down the road. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
The curiosity killed the cat, too.
Oh, I've heard that before. So, hey, do I have a 1 minute to read something?
You have?
1 minute to read something. Okay. So, I was in a writing class Saturday morning with Dr. Hudson from Schreiner University. You remember her?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we were taking poems to generate content to rewrite something. Okay, so I'm going to read you what I wrote, and the poem is inside of this. It says, thank you for allowing me the moment that forever changed how I see the world and how it carried me. In 2015, I traveled to Rwanda. It had been 20 years since the 1994 genocide took the lives of nearly 1 million people in 100 days. I was not there as a tourist. I was there to serve, to help orphan children whose families had been taken from them far too soon. One day I was distributing clothing, simple things such as tennis shoes, shorts, T-shirts. Most of the children accepted their gifts with quiet wonder. One little boy, about 4 years old, stood out to me. He looked up at me, clutching his new shirt and his new shoes, and though he said nothing with his mouth, his eyes spoke straight to my soul. Is this for me? Can I keep them? A yearning for dignity. A test for me. Can this moment be trusted? That look has never left me. In trying to understand my own response, I have often turned to the words by poet E. Cummings. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go. That line explains everything. The hope of the child, a small joy, the silent question. I carry it everywhere I go. In every conversation I have about dignity, compassion, and justice, the little boy goes with me. Friends, please see, real service is not just an act. It is a decision to carry people with you, to never forget, to allow their story to shape how you live, how you lead, how you give, how you serve and love others. And I ask you, whose heart do you carry? What moments in your life have opened your eyes not to the need only, but to the humanity behind the need? I went to Rwanda to give. I left carrying something far greater than serving others. A sacred responsibility, a silent question from a child, a lifetime of memories, and a little boy's heart which I carry today in my own.
Wow. Very nicely done, Mr. O'Neal.
Thank you, sir.
Very nicely done.
But
and
carrying-
usually that's the case. You take far more back than you give.
That's right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Great.
That's
Thank you.
great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
That's the word of the day is interest.
Interest. That's right. Interest.
There's interesting and there's
Interested.
and interested along with all of that. So, so much for the simplicity of the English language. We will see you next week,
Next
same
week.
time.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye-bye.